Audie Murphy, a Texas farm boy, became America's most decorated World War II soldier, earning 33 medals including the Medal of Honor. He single-handedly held off an entire German company in France, 1945, becoming a national hero and later a Hollywood actor. Italian Foreign Minister Galeazzo Ciano, Mussolini's son-in-law, visits Nazi Germany wearing the exclusive grey-green Saharan uniform of Italy's fascist party. This rare early World War II diplomatic attire symbolized fascist Italy's military alliance with Germany, reflecting the Axis powers' close political and ideological partnership. Confederate General Robert E. Lee, photographed in 1865 at his Richmond home shortly after surrendering to Union General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox. This iconic image captures the dignified yet defeated commander at the devastating end of America's bloodiest Civil War. A dark chapter in American history, the U.S. government funded forced sterilization of 25 to 42% of Native American women during the 1970s, targeting girls as young as 15. This systematic genocide destroyed generations of indigenous communities, violating basic human rights and bodily autonomy. A stylish young man in 1920s Los Angeles proudly sports Oxford bags, the era's boldest fashion trend. These extremely wide-legged trousers, originating from Oxford University students, became a symbol of youthful rebellion and casual elegance during America's roaring, carefree 20s. Soldiers of Italy's 1st Black Shirt Battalion 9 September patrolled the Marche region in 1944. These fascist militia fighters served under Mussolini's Italian Social Republic, fighting alongside Nazi Germany during the brutal final years of World War II on Italian soil. A Japanese organized Baojia militia patrols northern China around 1939-40. The Imperial Japanese Army revived this ancient Chinese community surveillance system in occupied Manchuria and North China to maintain control, suppress resistance, and enforce collaboration among local civilian populations during their brutal occupation. Marine PFC Leonard Evans, just 24 years old, gave his life on Iwo Jima on March 7, 1945. He fell during one of WWII's bloodiest Pacific battles, where nearly 7,000 American Marines were killed capturing this strategically vital Japanese island. Iconic actress Vampire A and wrestler-turned-actor Tor Johnson take a break during filming of Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space in 1956. Despite becoming cinema's most notorious cult classic, this low-budget sci-fi horror film is widely celebrated as Hollywood's most beloved sober-dit's-good masterpiece. The SS Sultana steamboat explosion on April 27, 1865, killed over 1,800 people, surpassing Titanic's death toll. Carrying freed Union prisoners just days after Lincoln's assassination, this catastrophic Mississippi River disaster was completely overshadowed by the Civil War's end, fading into forgotten history. Hampstead High Street in 1967 captures London at its most vibrant, during the iconic swinging 60s era. Bustling with fashionable pedestrians, classic British cars and charming shopfronts, this beloved North London village street perfectly reflects Britain's cultural revolution of music, fashion, and social change. Exiled French Emperor Napoleon III poses with his son Louis Napoleon, Prince Imperial, in London, 1872. Photographed after France's devastating defeat in the Franco-Prussian War, this poignant portrait captures a fallen dynasty in exile, far removed from the grandeur of their Second French Empire. Leon Hostak's intense, battle-hardened stare tells a story of two wars. A Korean War veteran in 1951, he returned to combat as a Vietnam paratrooper in 1967, representing thousands of career soldiers who dedicated their entire lives to America's mid-20th century military conflicts. A candid 1981 portrait of Rusty McCrickard and Tracy Featherston, everyday working Americans in Dixon, California. This simple yet powerful image beautifully captures the dignity of ordinary labor, representing millions of hard-working blue-collar workers who formed the quiet backbone of small-town American life. A delightfully unexpected 1988 photograph captures Pope John Paul II alongside a Ferrari, blending sacred and secular worlds. The beloved Polish Pope, known for his warm and approachable personality, surprisingly shared a passion for automobiles, revealing the remarkably human side of history's most traveled pontiff. Discovered in Hassanlu, Iran in 1972, these two figures died around 800 BC locked in an eternal embrace. Undisturbed for 2,800 years, their remarkably preserved remains represent one of archaeology's most romantic and heartbreaking discoveries, transcending time as a universal symbol of human love. Dolores Costello, photographed in 1928, was one of silent Hollywood's most celebrated beauties, nicknamed the Goddess of the Silver Screen. Grandmother of modern actress Drew Barrymore, her remarkable legacy proves that Hollywood royalty truly runs in the blood across multiple generations of the Barrymore dynasty. A remarkable 1927 family portrait captures 19-year-old Frida Kahlo boldly wearing a man's suit, years before her iconic fame. This early photograph perfectly foreshadows the legendary Mexican artist's lifelong defiance of gender norms and her fierce, unapologetic identity that would inspire generations worldwide. Few know that Rome's ancient Colosseum once served as a sacred Christian pilgrimage site, housing 14 stations of the cross shrines installed in 1750. Though removed in 1874, this fascinating religious chapter lives on through a small Pietà chapel still standing inside today. On December 21, 1988, Libyan intelligence agents bombed Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing all 259 passengers and 11 residents below. This devastating terrorist attack, Britain's deadliest ever, sparked a landmark international investigation ultimately convicting Libyan agent Abdelbert al-Megrahi in 2001. Charming early 1900s Massachusetts winter scene shows a devoted father enjoying the snow with his young children. One toddler rides a classic sleigh while the baby sits in a remarkably unique vintage pram, offering a rare and heartwarming glimpse into early American family life. Silent film actress Carmel Myers stuns in a spectacular decorative grape headdress around 1920. A prominent star of Hollywood's golden silent era, the daughter of a San Francisco rabbi became famous for her exotic, glamorous roles, perfectly embodying the theatrical and lavish aesthetics of Roaring '20s cinema. A wonderfully candid 1920s photograph captures a young woman completely relaxed in loaf mode in Port Republic, Maryland. This rare, unposed moment beautifully reflects everyday rural American life, reminding us that behind every historical photograph lives a real person with simple, joyful human moments. Mary Ann Carson was a remarkable Victorian-era strongwoman who broke barriers far beyond physical strength. A fierce feminist and passionate advocate for abuse survivors, she used her fame and platform to champion women's rights during an era when female voices were largely silenced and ignored. Soldiers of Italy's 1st Black Shirt Battalion 9 September patrolled the Marche region in 1944. These fascist militia fighters served under Mussolini's Italian Social Republic, fighting alongside Nazi Germany during the brutal final years of World War II on Italian soil. Ottoman Sultan Ahmed I, depicted wearing his legendary grandfather Suleiman the Magnificent's crown against Constantinople's breathtaking skyline. Known for commissioning the stunning Blue Mosque, Ahmed I ruled a vast empire at its peak, forever connecting his legacy to Islam's greatest architectural and imperial achievements. Austrian actress Marie Schleinzer stuns in her extraordinarily eccentric Batwoman dress, daringly crafted from real taxidermy bats around 1900. This bizarre yet fascinating costume perfectly captures the Victorian and Edwardian era's obsession with theatrical extravagance, exotic taxidermy fashion, and the darkly unconventional aesthetics of fin de siècle Europe. A remarkable survival story captured on film, this B-29 Superfortress suffered catastrophic mid-flight propeller failure, which violently carved a massive hole through its fuselage. The heroic pilot successfully executed an emergency landing, though colliding with a parked aircraft causing additional devastating damage to the nose and turret. A grand manor house in Topolno Wielkie, photographed between 1920 and 1935, stands as a proud symbol of Central European aristocratic heritage. Located in a region historically contested between Poland and Germany, this elegant estate reflects the complex cultural and political identity of interwar Eastern Europe. A rare and beautiful 1900 photograph captures elegantly dressed ladies of the Kingdom of Zanzibar sharing warm, genuine smiles. This remarkable image offers an intimate glimpse into the rich cultural identity of Zanzibar's prosperous Swahili society, blending African, Arab and Indian influences at the height of its sultanate.